Just waiting for my partner in crime, Jeff Bosey, to jump on in, and our special guest, Will Sharon. So while I'm waiting for these guys, let me tell you guys a little bit about my new favorite coffee mug here. How about that, huh? Little no rhyme, no reason coffee mug. Teespring.com, people. Teespring.com. Log into Teespring.com. Scroll down to the browse bar. You can type in no rhyme, no reason, and it'll come up with some really cool stuff. We've got shirts, we've got mugs, we've got beach towels, we got all kinds of great stuff. We also have Jeff Bosey joining us. How are you, partner? I'm doing a little Teespring promo.
Great.
And we're waiting on Will. He should be joining us any second. So anyway, teespring.com, scroll down to the browse bar. You type in no rhyme, no reason. We got some cool stuff on there. Thanks to Gina and Jemmy Coffin and Jeff Bosey and his great logo, which got us some really cool stuff. Listen, don't procrastinate. Do your Christmas shopping now. We got shirts, there's tank tops, beach towels, coffee mugs. People, teespring.com. That of a house plant. Hey, buddy.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
So, who you rooting for?
What is there sports going on?
I mean, is there a little hockey there or something that you might be looking at?
No, I can't read. I thought this said my, so I bought it. So people would know that it's not theirs, it's mine.
Nice. How you been?
Good. Sorry if I was like late.
That's all right. I was surprised that you're able to catch your breath as in between from show to show.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, you're the hardest working man in Zoom business. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm like James Brown.
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I can speak for me and Bosey. I think we're both jealous of your COVID hair.
Yeah, thanks. You want my COVID weight? I'll give it to you.
Well, I mean, listen, it's Zoom, so what I like to do is I like to do a little something with the camera called like this.
Oh yeah. We have up here. We had construction done, so I'm literally under construction.
Oh, I thought that was code for you had cosmetic work.
Yeah, that too.
Now, let me see your new rack.
My wife, that's gonna cost you. That's gonna be two no rhyme, no reason. There you go. My wife and I both teach, so there was a day where our lessons were done, and my wife was like, the wall that's between the kitchen and the dining room. She's like, if we open it, you think we could open this ourselves? So I was like, yeah, I know, some of my close friends, like I know we could do it. Like it's a handyman project that I know we'd be able to pull off.
Who cares if it's weight bearing? Take it down.
Right. Well, so that's the thing. So that's weight bearing, but I knew if it was weight bearing, I knew how to fix it. You just brace up the other sides. You put in 2 2-bys on either side, and then you put 3 headers, usually 2 to 3, or a steel beam in the middle or a plate.
Yep.
And so I knew how to do it. But then when we opened it up, we're like, oh, so the header that goes this way stops a few inches before the load bearing wall. So it was like, oh, so it was illegal 35 something years ago before the people we bought from even bought it. Oh, lovely. So so we had to get a pro contractor to come in, banged it out, so everything's opened up. But now we have to do the floor, we have to do kitchen, do electric. It's all.
I mean, not for anything, but look at. If you look behind Jeff, you can see his newly renovated Zoom meeting room. I mean, look at that baby.
Oh, I thought that was his thought bubble. I thought
we film No Rhyme, No Reason there, and also they do hostage videos in front of that wall. So it's a lot of fun.
See, normally I hear Jeff going waka waka waka, where he's reading a paper like I'm okay.
Yeah, blink.
He's doing like Morse code blinks like Dr. Burks.
Using code words like, show me where the magical vagina is.
Yeah.
Is that the WAP that I hear tell of?
Oh, the WAP. Such a great song. Can we dabble into that?
I know you're going to get into that. So before we get rocking and rolling, we've introduced our buddy Will. We've introduced Jeff Bosey, who, by the way, you just have a different name every week. You're using all caps now, which is scaring me because I feel like you're about. You're 2 weeks away from being Michael Douglas and Falling Down. I have a feeling, but okay, whatever it takes. So, Will, normally at this time, I turn it over to Jeff for a couple of minutes for him to do his weekly rant. I'm not going to lie to you. It goes in circles. Sometimes it never connects again. But, this is like a Make-A-Wish thing for him, so I'm going to let him go.
Thank you. So I had to go ahead and I had to pick up the children's section of newspapers. Sorry. I wasn't, I noticed that. Listen, I noticed that the Daily News, they went ahead and they upped it 50 cents. Those greasy sons of a bitches. So, anyways, I'm getting such a tick in the news lately. Apparently, we're going ahead and this commish of the NYPD, he goes ahead and he's saying that cops are not giving out tickets for speeders. And he says that because probably there's less cars on the road. Judging by the shitloads of traffic that I sit in, it takes me 2.5 hours just to get from like Queens Boulevard to Route 110, okay? There is no shortage of cars. So I'm going to call bullshit on that.
How fast could they be going?
Oh, I don't know. You're topping off at like, what, 5?
Oh. Okay.
If anything, you're impeding traffic. You're not speeding. So, and then like I said, and now I get a kick out of it. Our wonderful, beautiful Mayor Cuomo.
He's a governor.
He has, Governor Cuomo. Sorry, Governor Cuomo, not Mayor de Blasio. Governor Cuomo. He doesn't, he's all against anyone doing, yes, no rhyme, no reason. He's all against people, the families, doing an investigation on nursing home scandals in regards to the deaths and everything and the handling of our elderly. And he's like, no, let's not do that. But he definitely wants to take the time to bitch and moan why Con Ed and PSC&G didn't do their job as far as taking care of all the problems with the utility. That he wants to probe. Listen, the only thing that should be probed is his fucking ass for like uselessness, pretty much. I digress.
How's your day going, Bose?
It's going swell.
I mean,
I'm loving the news lately.
When I was just checking Will for vital signs during that
Will,
horrible rant.
Will,
he said probe, and I was like, what?
He got all excited. Now, Will, you're kind of a decent person of knowledge, and of course, because of you guys using such gigantic words, I use abhorrent to go ahead and describe
could you
how I am.
pronounce it properly if you're going to
I
write
was going to say, to your credit, you spelled it right.
Hey, abhorrent? Okay. So anyways, and then you have a decent knowledge of movies, so maybe you'll catch this one. I was kind of curious. Don't you think that if they did this in Chicago, okay? If they did this in Chicago, right? Don't you think they would have caught Richard Kimball? I'm thinking they would have caught him.
But he was not guilty. They did catch him the first time. He was not guilty, though.
Yeah, I know. And then he had to go ahead. He escaped from a train and all that. A hogwash.
I believe the actual murderer was Tony Walker's alternate personality. But
you find that man. He had a prosthetic
something
limb.
Tony Waver.
Yes, exactly. Hey, Bose. Here's why I wanted Will to join us. One, because he hasn't suffered enough. But two, because I am under the impression, not the impression. It is my understanding in life that if I was ever on a show where I had to get assistance to answer questions, I would call one of 3 people. I would call Will Sharon.
Absolutely.
Who would probably just reject my call and say, "Can I call you later?" with that auto reply.
If it came up as abhorrent, without punctuation,
I would call Andy Plagianos, who would clearly just go right to voicemail, and I would call Tim Saliani, who would actually answer just to hang up on me. But it would be one of those 3 people who I would call for the knowledge. Now, Bose, I don't want you to feel slighted in any way. If I had a question about low budget, porn, let's say, possibly I would call you. But anything else of value, sports, entertainment, knowledge, I would call these guys. So So anyway, that's why I'm glad we got Will with us. And by the way, because he's an Islander fan, baby. Oh, what do you think of that,
Yeah.
Will?
So it's a no-brainer that he's going first.
I like the
It's,
defenseman, to be honest with you.
Which guy?
The guy, they're picking him to go 3. I had to dig up his name, but I was doing a little research on him. I know that this kid's gonna, the offensive kid's gonna go first, but Lafreniere.
Yeah, Lafreniere.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
Lafreniere is supposed to go.
he's
first.
the number one, but the Rangers need help in that anyway. I mean, listen, they're in an accelerated rebuild, obviously, but there's a kid who plays defense. I don't know if they got him projected 3 or 4, but he looks pretty good.
I have to check. I don't know off the top of my head. I don't know the guy that you're talking about. He's a Canadian.
Not 100% sure. I did a 30,000-foot view after the Rangers got the ping pong ball.
Well, what's funny? There's a lot of people. Not a lot of people, but Roberto Luongo mentioned on Instagram or Twitter. He put up that it seemed like the Rangers ping pong ball was heavier.
Did you think it was? Did it look like it was smoking like the dry ice from the Patrick Ewing draft?
Listen, he's still near and dear to my heart. Patrick Ewing is my favorite Nick ever. Yeah.
Wow.
I like the Celtics too, because I watched as a kid. There were more Celtics games on TV. I love Larry Bird and I love Patrick Ewing. They're my 2 favorite players ever.
Wow.
Nothing against Michael Jordan or anything, but
right.
yeah, I just felt bad. Like I just wish he had stayed a Nick. It's just that guy.
Bozy, Patrick Ewing played basketball in New York.
There's
a team called the Knickerbockers. They played at the Garden.
I thought Larry Bird was a famous golfer.
Yeah, well, he.
After his career in basketball,
he dabbled. So
you would recognize Larry Bird playing golf if you watched Space Jam.
Yes, and that's the only time I've watched basketball, when it was like that, and then Michael Jordan and the cartoon character. And I'll shut up now.
So Will,
but that also has Patrick Ewing in it too.
That's right. Hey Will,
full circle.
If you rank the 4 major sports in your likability factor, would hockey be your 1?
To watch personally, yeah, I would put hockey 1, football 2, and as much as I hate basketball, I would probably put basketball before baseball.
And now that's to watch. Now let me ask you a question, because it's for me it's a different answer. Watch in person, watch on TV, because to me it moves them around a little bit.
So
like I don't like football in person because I feel like after you get shit faced in the parking lot, you can't really see much of the game anyway.
I could never confirm nor deny I've ever been to a football game and not remembered what happened. But I would 100% agree with you that football, to see it live. I mean, again, there's nothing like experiencing that thing live. But football, that you don't realize how much stoppage it becomes almost like watching a baseball game.
Right.
Whereas basketball, I felt basketball is over pretty quickly. We used to have, my wife and I a few times went to see Knicks. We had a hookup, so a couple times we had courtside seats, and it was like, dude, you walk in there like there's celebrities everywhere. I'm like, holy cow! Like, I don't just have to see Spike Lee on TV like he's
Bozy front courtside.
Yeah, I mean we were behind the hoop, but it's just insane. But those games go by so fast and they make every effort to keep everyone's attention going. It's very, very tough to get bored at a basketball game, and hockey. When there's a 10 to 15-minute intermission, my buddy and I, we had season tickets for the longest time, so we got to become friendly with the people in our area, in our section, that we would literally grab some beers, go hang out downstairs, talk to them more, have a couple more beers, and make fun of everybody that would walk by, because we're perfect specimens. We're allowed to point fingers. But yeah, it was just, I would say hockey and basketball are probably the two best to watch in person.
Bose, do you watch any sports on TV?
Bowling,
Ladies or men's?
both,
Which one do you like better?
neither.
Fair enough. Good, good. Are you yourself a bowler?
I used to bowl in my day. I used to go ahead and throw the fingers and the ball down the lane.
Bumpers,
Go
no
ahead.
bumpers.
And so listen, today bumpers. Back then, I had about a 280 average.
280.
Yeah.
How many games? 3, 4?
What?
Is that on
No, I
league
used,
or is that
no on league. I used to be on a league.
And you had a 280 average,
Yeah.
which would be the highest average in the recorded history of bowling.
No, it would be a straight like nonstop 300. But then again,
It's a good average.
yeah.
Nice. I'm calling bullshit on it, but
That's
okay.
how boring I am. I went bowling.
Was
I
it?
hung out with a whole bunch of misfits and went bowling.
But
Hey,
it's 280
hey,
ridiculously good.
I've been bowling. He has a 280 average like I'm 6'7". I've been bowling since I'm 12. You couldn't bowl a 280 with a bar and down the lane.
Are you kidding me?
280 average?
Yes.
No.
Average.
That means you miss
Yes.
one strike a game. Everything else you get is strikes the whole game.
I'm sorry. Let's go bowling one day.
I will wager you your organs you don't bowl 280.
I mean, in Jeff's defense, Jeff actually was the guy that set the pins up in the behind the place, and he would just knock 9 of those shits down once, and then once they came back, he would.
Listen, I'm not sitting there saying like I'm throwing trick shots and doing all that fancy shit, but I'm letting you know that, like I said, it was between like 280 or 28. Like I said, I mean, like don't get me wrong, I've had my my 223s, my 240s, but I would pretty much I'd be pretty good at. That was the only thing I was good at. Throwing
I like how you
freaking
dismissed
ball.
240. You're dismissing a 240 like that's something to like shrug off. Like a 240.
It's-
We can't read your white piece of paper.
Oh,
Fake news. Oh, fake news.
wait. Let me make it easier for you.
Jeff
We're
Posey,
waiting.
you're fake news.
It's fake news.
I'm fake news. Anything I said about that?
As
Listen, wait a minute.
As a lifelong bowler,
Yes.
emphatically, you did not have a 280 average.
Listen.
In,
Do I sit there and rant about like, oh, I was good, or I played baseball, or I did this sport or that sport? No.
I mean, in Jeff's defense, he's bragging about bowling. I mean,
yeah. I mean, come on.
He does
It's
that.
fucking bowling. What do you think I'm going to like? Hold on. I got some bullshit here.
fake
Let me
news.
give it to you.
Fake news.
Oh, boo!
What's next? You fill in Madison Square Garden for a comedy show in 2022? Liar.
No.
Liar.
That I'll never do. You'll do
he
that
was
before I
supposed
do.
to. He was supposed to, but COVID-19 hit him.
So, Will, what have you been doing to keep busy, man? Are you going back into the classroom? Are you going to be virtual, or what's the deal?
We don't know. The expectation is that all of us are going back, and the students will have like about a third go in and 2/3 stay home, but in groups. So if the three of us are in class together, right, and you're with 9 other kids, Jeff's with 9 other kids, I'm with 9 other kids. I might go in Monday, Tuesday to see my teacher, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday next week. You would go in Wednesday, Thursday, Friday this week, and Monday, Tuesday next week. And Jeff and the other 9 kids would stay at home the whole time. So that's
What?
one option. Yeah, they do.
Close.
There's
How many times were you suspended where you stayed home anyway? Come on.
True.
Is it any
yeah. That,
different?
so that's every district is different, but in the city there were several options that they worked out. So it would be
Where do you
some,
teach? Where are you?
in Queens, in College Point,
And what subject are you doing?
math.
Nice.
Yeah, I've taught 15 years now. I've been teaching math. Yeah.
Wow.
So 2 plus 2 will come like a breeze.
Yeah, the only thing now is to get them to model. I don't teach elementary school, but they've stayed away from
Common Core.
memorization. It's more but even Common Core, there wasn't a whole lot different from when we were in school. What they focus on now is to show understanding and competency to be able to express that or model
I
that.
don't get that, man. I was the kid who I was always a math nerd, but I was not a. Oh, I should say I'm a numbers guy, but not a math nerd. So I
Yeah,
would
yeah.
do, like I remember when we took the SATs. They made me. I went and submitted my test in, and they were going to call my parents because they thought I cheated because I didn't use the scrap paper. I didn't open it and use it because I used to
Yeah.
just do the stuff in my head. That's how I did math.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah, same.
yeah, they held me there for like 20 minutes. I'm like, listen, you think I cheated? Look at my English score. Trust me, I'm going to come right back down to earth for you.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
glove is
Yeah.
the hand as
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, I don't know what the hell that
Yeah.
is. I don't do
Yeah.
analogies.
What the heck do they call that? Not similes. Uh,
You know about
it's
the
not
English?
similes. Yeah, I forget what they call it. It was like asses to hat as turd is to
Yes,
burger or
yes,
whatever.
is the hat.
I forget what that's called, but I was terrible at those. Like I could get the connection, but same as you, I could do everything in my head.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
I was not good.
Yeah.
So you're like Bozy, you're a big PEMDAS guy, right? Like you're all about that, right?
A cat. CAT is cat.
Yeah. Well, that's why we
Yeah,
do the
no.
show together
Oh.
because between his brilliance in English and social studies and science and my limited ability in math, we cover all the bases. So, so what's your favorite subject? Not to teach, but like when you're, because you don't cram like, hey, it's a good day to read a little trigonometry while I'm home.
I don't do that at all.
Like, what do you like to do on the personal side? Like, are you a social studies, a science guy, English guy?
I mean,
Home ed.
no, I like reading like history of like the presidents and so like certain ones. Like I love JFK, Teddy Roosevelt, Ronald Reagan. Like I like to read books. I don't read much, but I have books on that. Like I like to read. Like I'm fascinated with just the Kennedys in general, especially Ted because Ted is,
Drunk?
I think Ted Kennedy's like 1,400 days sober now. So good for him. But I like the whole story of the Kennedys being Irish Catholic and coming from a family with a lot of kids and I think every Dash Shelley has it hard when they come to this country and not saying that they're model people, but they have their flaws and it's just interesting to read about the history of Jack Kennedy and the aspirations his father had for his brother that he didn't live up to, and
Joe.
then, yeah, and then always trying to get his dad's attention and affection, and then that he was sickly and he almost died several times in his youth and spent a lot of time in and out of hospitals, and even had he not been assassinated, there was a lot of beliefs he wouldn't have lived through a second term
Wow.
because he had a lot of health problems. And that the press, back then they respected president and most of the privacy that they purposely kind of like FDR, they never filmed him in his wheelchair
Yeah, right.
because of that image. Kennedy, they always made him look tan, but a lot of that they said was his skin from the medicines that he took. They purposely made him look tan and healthy, but it wasn't. It was like jaundice and all this other stuff.
I would have loved to have seen. Remember the girls that were the uranium girls? I would have loved to have definitely called them the Women of Glow.
Who are the uranium girls?
You don't remember the girls that were making? Oh shoot, they were in a factory, and then they were like doing something to lace stuff with their teeth, and they would get into their system, and they would actually glow.
No.
You never heard about the Glow Girls?
This was
No.
this was post Oppenheimer bomb creation. Is that what they were doing?
Yeah, it's around that time.
Really?
It was definitely around the 40s and 50s.
And this is what turned you on was the Oppenheimer, the Glow
God,
Girls?
it's so hot, so hot. But I'm sorry, I interrupted Will and the history lesson of jaundice.
Hey, Will.
No.
Will, what do you? I got two questions for you. One is, do you find it almost insane how? and again, I understand these people are. There's only been 45 of them, and they are the leaders of the free world, if you will. But don't you find it insane? To me, it's one notch. The only thing I can relate it to, because I shake my head at this every day, is I don't understand people who wrap themselves up in like the everyday dealings of the royal family, like that whole shit. I'm like, yeah, it's great. They had a baby. That's cool. Okay, whatever. But the people
Right.
who literally wake up at 6:01 in the morning and they start going, Trump, 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 anti-Trump, Trump, Trump, pro-Trump, Trump, 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 pro-Trump,
Right.
Trump, Trump, Trump.
Right. Yeah.
What the hell? Like you're a teacher. You went through regular school and college. Most of your classmates, you never heard a peep at anybody. Nobody was that into this shit.
No, I remember. The first time I remember a teacher really saying something about our president was my junior year of high school. Clinton was now president, and a kid in my class. I went to Catholic school, and a kid in my class was like, "He's the Antichrist," and I remember our teacher saying, "Listen, you should always want the president to succeed, whether you like him or not." And this kid clearly was coming from his parents' conservative views, and a lot of kids in our school were raised conservative. A lot weren't too, but this kid was saying he should be locked up. He's immoral. And then we found out soon after that the whole Lewinsky thing. But I remember my teacher saying, "Listen, he's the leader of the free world. He is in office, and so that's something I never forgot, And I don't ever remember teachers talking, even in the social studies, teachers ever talking about their political preference.
And they shouldn't.
No, they shouldn't.
I mean,
It's not your job.
Right. Even if you're at a university teaching a poli sci class, it's
Yeah.
like your opinion. You're supposed to be. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
You're not supposed to shape some other kid with your opinion. It's supposed to be. It's bizarre to me. Bozy, what are you doing over there, buddy? Oh, you got the baby
I
arm.
don't.
The baby arm's back.
Oof.
Wow.
And you made it disappear pretty quick too. Don't
I
you
mean-
want to know?
I mean, Will, do you look, I'm older than you guys, but I find it unbelievable how wrapped up people are. Like
Yeah.
I hate to break it to none of you guys are in Trump's will, okay? Stop living and breathing for this fucking guy every day.
Right.
And stop waking up. And if you wish that bad luck on him, well, you're kind of a ding dong because,
Right.
I mean, listen, I'm not a fan, and I was a registered Republican my entire life until this previous election when I went independent. But I don't want the country to hit the shitter. I mean, I have to earn a living doing financial services. People broke. It's not good for me. It's not good for anybody.
Yeah.
But people are so wrapped up in it, and at least with the royal family, it's kind of goofy. Like, hey, who's getting booted out of the family, and who's they walk around glad handing people and doing and having babies. It's not as
Listen,
real.
Right. Sorry.
I'm just like I said. I'm starting to find both political parties to be extremist at this point because like I said, when you go into like I said, the Trump supporters, Trump could go ahead, smack his wife on live television, and say something racist, and then you'll have all the Trump supporters go, "Well, he was kind of right," and I love Trump. But then you get the people that are the Democrats that are over there, and they just. They want to burn everything at the stake lately, and like nothing is a go. Everything is just so everyone's turning into extremists, and it's kind of scary. But go ahead, Will. Your turn.
It is weird, and we're the first. Look, we're the first show on Govs Radio since the VP announcement, right? So what was your thoughts on that one, Will?
I don't think it's going to help. I think whoever Biden elects, and now we know it's Kamala Harris. I don't think it can only help him get elected. I don't think as far as Democrats that might have leaned towards not voting for him because of his mental scruples, as it appears.
Or he's not left enough, or he's not Bernie, or he's not, he doesn't wear a Speedo or whatever.
But I think also the amount of times people reference that he may have early signs of dementia.
Do you
He
think?
fumbles
Do
a
you
lot.
think his dementia started when the Spanish flu ended World War II, or do you think it was
No,
before that?
I think it was the 7 Years' War, roughly. It
I
could have
mean,
been the Crimean, but
I mean, saying he's the only one of
yeah,
these two guys with dementia is starting to become an iffy topic.
yeah.
They're both.
But I think another thing is that, like you guys had said, I don't get how so many people, because there's information to us like through the computer and phone, that like I laugh at everyone that is 100% adamant that they're a political expert. You're not. You know, whether you're a social worker or a soccer mom or a lawyer or a bartender, none of you are social experts. You're taking your free time to read stuff that you're seeing, and you're forming your own opinion based on what you've read. And again, that's all we do as voters anyway. No one ever takes the blame if we got it wrong when there's some, the president,
Yeah.
regardless of who it
Right.
is,
Oops.
that
Bad call. Bad vote. Sorry, my bad.
right,
You know,
that's the person that we fly and we die with. That
right.
and even that person, their cabinet members are the ones telling them what decisions to make because again, whether it's Obama, whether it's Trump, whether it's if Trump gets reelected, or I would say if Trump does get reelected, most likely there'll be a Democrat after him because they'll say that whatever Republican running, oh, that's 4 more years of Trump. That's what happened with Hillary. Obama had 8 years, and immediately as a people, we're so quick to discredit the ideas that the next person could have if they're coming in from the same party. Because people immediately have the idea that it's 4 more years of them in a positive way or in a negative
it's all
way.
marketing and branding. It's all
Yeah.
it's all horseshit.
And it's 100%. It's 100% student council bullshit because you literally could tell everybody, if you vote for me, I'm gonna put fruit punch in the water fountains. You could have pizza on Fridays, no homework during the week.
Bozy
and
loves
you know what?
pizza.
It's polarizing because half the people are going to vote for you.
Wait, just
and
not
that's
pizza
what-
from Farmingdale.
No. Hey, how you doing, beautiful? God bless. I'll call you later. Half the people are going to vote for you because they believe you're going to make that happen. The other half are going to say, there's no way you'll get that happen. The reality is that the Supreme Court and Congress are the administration. They're the principal that are going to say, yeah, that's great. Now you're elected. Guess what? We don't do fruit punch in the water fountains.
But you will admit, even though people on social media aren't political experts, you got to give them their due. Most of them are infectious disease and immunology specialists.
Oh yeah,
I
I mean
mean-
they know which vaccines work and don't work. They know if it's a.
I took hydrochloroquine. I just took it.
You never look better.
Anyways,
Jesus,
before we get
that picture should be outside of every Chuck E. Cheese, by the way.
But fuck you. Before we get into the health portion of Facebook, I truly liked when we were rotating presidents every 4 years, but it seems to be the new norm within the past 2 decades that they like to go for 2 terms now. Are we short on people to
Well, I
pick
mean,
these?
you can't count assassination and indictments and
Well, wait a minute.
impeachments as one-termers.
Yes.
I mean,
So
But
far,
Nixon would have been a 2-term
Bush
president if he didn't.
Well, you
get
did. Well, you did. You did. Wait, did we have? We had Bush.
Is the only 1 term.
Right.
Yeah,
HW.
just
Go back
first
to
Bush
Reagan.
because
Yeah.
Reagan was 2, Clinton was 2, Obama was 2.
Yeah, and Bush. I think what hurt Bush big time was not only that he was running on the right to life ticket, but Ross Perot really
Third
took
party,
a lot of votes away
crushed
from
the
Bush.
votes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, Ross.
Can I finish? Can I tell you something?
Wait,
Here's the thing.
no one was
you
better
can
than
lead a
his
horse to
running mate.
water.
No one.
You can
No
lead a
one.
horse to water, but you can't pick your friend's nose. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
No one
It's
was
very
better
simple.
than Stockdale. That guy was the best.
You know,
Why am I? Why am I here? Why are we having this debate today?
Can I maybe Will, you can answer me this question.
Maybe.
Why does every let's say the Mayor de Blasio or any mayor, why do they feel the need to, at certain points of their their news press, why do they feel the need, and now a couple of words in Spanish, and then they butcher it up, because every time I hear that, I'm getting ready for them to go, and now a couple of words in Spanish. Novembre.
Does the person doing sign even the person doing sign looks awkward when they switch language?
Adios. Cinco de Mayo. Pico de Gallo. And then he goes on in English about something else. And I'm like, why? Why did you even bother? Stop it. Just put it in SAP and call it a day.
The first one I remember doing that was Bloomberg. And his Spanish was so bad. I used to love it. He would be like, he would start off by saying, if he had to close the schools because of snow, it would kill him. And he would go, go to a movie with friends and check on the elderly. And for my Spanish-speaking friends, visitan al cine con amigos. And ten cuidado los viejas, and toman autobus, and tomorrow back to work, rápidamente trabaja.
Mi queso es muy grande.
Yeah.
Wow, this is the bilingual portion of No Rhyme, No Reason. Hey, Bose, before we continue, do you want to do a quick little blast about our favorite radio station? That's Govs Radio.
Well, I have some sad news. Well, first I'm typing here. Ageless Adventures.
What about them?
Today was their last show. Did you not know?
Them. They were good.
But the good news is that Marla will go ahead and stick around. She'll be premiering something in September.
Okay.
But now, I'm not as good as you. I know that you have Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. You have Knockin' Dead Radio with Tony and Sally every day in the studio.
Why not Wednesday?
Because Wednesday, believe it or not, is Eric Shevlin and Daniel Asher, part of a #1 show that's every Wednesday, Ashland.
Wow.
Where they go ahead and they can listen. They are together. They are a magical pussy. But anyways, moving on. On Tuesdays. Oh wait, hold on. Mondays we have what was it? Steve Squared.
Steve,
right?
and Emily. Steve,
and Emily.
Steve
yes.
Show. Steve and Emily.
Yes.
Steve Squared. Right.
Every now and again, you have the Iron Chef of COVID, or COVID Chef, or COVID-19. You go ahead and he cooks up something special. You have Jam with Joe DeJesu. Then you have Tuesday. You have us at 6:30. You have Tuesday. Sometimes you have domestic disturbance, and boy, are they disturbing.
We love
then you
that
go
show.
ahead. You domestically, yes. On Wednesdays, you have another show called Three's Company with only 2 people. Eventually, the third person might show up, as long as he didn't get the COVID-19 and he's part of one of my great shows. And then on Thursdays, what's on Thursdays, Rich? Come on, help my memory out.
We got the man, the myth, the legend, Anthony Grazide and Limo Talk.
That's right. .com
with Bobby Inns and Richie and
yes.
Can
you share my show? Can you share my show?
And Greg,
Rich, can you share my show?
Right.
Okay.
Fridays.
Oh, Fridays. Well, once again, Fridays you have Domestic Disturbance Part 2.
We got Mandy and Greg and Glenn. I'm sorry, Mandy and Glenn.
Glenn and Mandy with their show. I think they renamed it Calamity Jones.
Calamity Jones, correct.
So that's a new thing. Saturdays you have Pasusu, where you get to possibly see me in drag.
Sometimes Tom Galati with comedians.
Tom Galati with cars. Eventually we'll see him rotating a little bit more.
Wait, Pasusu was a Spanish dish.
Pazuzu, didn't you win that?
No. No, I didn't.
Oh.
Will, what was your question?
Isn't Pazuzu? I was thinking papusa. I was gonna say pazuzu. I think
it's paella, something.
Paella.
So anyway, folks.
So
Gubs
Me-
Radio,
me-
every day
me-
something good going on. You want to listen in. A lot of great stuff. Definitely get you through these boring days during COVID-19. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of fun.
Mi baño es mucho grande.
Right. Hey, Will, I was dying to ask you this question all day today.
yeah.
Your favorite all-time hockey fight?
Oh man. I would say, don't mind my wife who thinks Spike.
Wait, rewind that. Rewind it. Let's go. Back it up.
I would say the two best I've ever seen in person. One is Eric Cairns when he was with the Islanders in round one of the was it the 0-2 playoffs against the Maple Leafs. He just destroyed this guy, and he knew he was getting taken out, and he turned to the crowd and did this, and the place went nuts.
That's awesome.
Because the Maple Leafs that round one, they were hit. Another one was an Islander fight. Zdeno Chara was still with the Islanders.
Chara was,
Yeah.
and he never lost a fight. That guy, he was an animal.
No.
Oof.
So Chara was 6'7". Sorry, 6'9". Different.
Oh,
not
okay,
the
sorry,
Coochie Coochie.
She threw a good punch
Chara
too.
was 6 foot.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay. Moving on. Sorry.
Chara. The Islanders were playing the Panthers. That threw hands also. Pete Worrell was like 6'5" or 6'6", and he was a guy that was there to fight like a Donald Bridget win. Chara, who was 6'9", held him with one hand against the boards.
Wow.
And just got with his other hand onto this guy. And then the Islanders traded him.
and then they get rid of him. My two